And here we go. Hey everyone, my name is Sean, and I already lost my voice 2 seconds into this. Anyways, I'm going to talk about my experience being in medical school for the past 1 year. So stay till the end, tune in, and let's get into it. I have to say that the journey so far, I know this journey is going to be long, but up until today, which has been around a year that I've started medical school, it's definitely been a lot of ups and downs. So you might have a friend, or you yourself might want to start this journey, or maybe you've been already through it, or you might have another journey that is similar to this. There's a lot of similarities between someone who's studying medicine versus someone who wants to get into a new job, a new career. There's so many overlaps. So you don't necessarily need to be going through this path to watch this video. So essentially, timeline wise, I would have to say that the first uh, week or so that I started school, I was, moving away from family, just getting things in order, moving into a new place, finding a new community of friends because I'm extroverted, right? And being around other people with the same goals. That was basically the first few weeks of medical school. And there was also a lot of excitement. And at the same time, there was a lot of pressure and stress because I saw myself in a new environment. And this has been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. There's definitely been a lot of sacrifices to get to where I want to get. And that pressure itself is a lot. So I was just figuring things out for the first few weeks, as would anyone else, I think, that would move into a new environment, starting something new. But there was a lot of excitement around it for the first few weeks. And I think as time went by, as modules were passed, the pressure that I was initially talking about, that pressure, it started building up. So what happens is we get bombarded by fire hose of information. The first few weeks was easier, but then it got harder and harder. But again, as someone who is going through a path, I think you become stronger and stronger. You will learn new strategies, ways, whether if you are up for group studying, studying on your own, if you like Anki, flashcards, or whatever, you will find your way to be able to keep moving. But one thing that I realized was as this pressure got worse and I began to realize to accept it. The acceptance said, "All right, I can sense this heaviness and this feeling. You guys can let me know if you relate to this or not. You don't need to be again a medical school student to feel this heaviness and pressure." Um, I began to realize I need to find a way to cope with this. I need to find a way to deal with this somewhat pressure that I have never experienced in my life before. And I have heard from so many countless people. I've people in my family. I've heard that, oh yeah, medical school's hard, but going through it, experiencing it myself, I was shocked because half, maybe even more than half of this battle is just mental. Because one thing is being able to force yourself to sit down to study and sponge all this information, and another thing is being able to fight with your daily battles every single day. Because from my understanding, this whole thing is like you are waking up every single day doing the same thing. You have to create a routine for yourself. And some people don't have a routine necessarily. I know friends here who I'm studying with, and they don't have a strict routine. They're still doing okay and they're fine. But for most people, that routine that you have to do this, your brain needs to be ready to complete a bunch of tasks on a daily basis. And it's like the Kaizen method. You have to improve yourself every single day. Every single day, you have to figure out what went wrong. Why did you not understand a topic? And find resources and ways, because medicine, at the end of the day, it's um, you are bombarded by a lot of information. Your instructors will provide you the information, but then it's up to you to decide how are you going to grasp and understand all these concepts. So understanding these the first few weeks and months was challenging for sure. I found my strategy the way I have to study, but again, dealing with that pressure and heaviness that I was mentioning earlier, that's to this day, it's really hard. And one of the reasons for that, I think, is because when you start a new career or plan, or if you want to do something new, and your whole previous routine is disrupted, and that actually happens when you want to start medical school, because no matter what you do before medical school, that career, job, or whatever is going to be different than what you're going to do in many ways or forms, at least from my experience. So my routine got disrupted. I was used to working out 5, 6 times a week. And then when school started, it was hard for me to realize I cannot work out the same way. I cannot do the same things that I used to do. And I have to find ways, aka time management, or I have to put some things aside and be okay with some things as well. Like, but by that I mean, let's say I have to be okay. I have to accept that I cannot do or have the same exact routine as I had, because let's say if I go to the gym and work out for 2 hours, and as I'm a natural athlete, if I get a testosterone crash from the hard workout that I've done, my brain does not have the capacity to study. I'm going to sleep and recover from that workout. And the stress of not being able to study itself is going to build up, and it's going to negatively impact my performance in school. So it takes time for you to realize these things. And I was going through this journey, and I figured out, okay, another thing is like cooking. Like, you have to, like, if you want to cook, if you like cooking, do you have time to do that? Or do you have to like order food? Do you want to order food? Do you have the budget for that stuff? How are you going to do this, that? And all these small things, they all add up. It's essentially what we all do as adults in life, but adding the um, but adding on top of that, this fire hose of information that you have to learn every single day, aka medicine, that's just something else. And it's really, really hard. And that's where I think a lot of people um, will end up struggling. So I struggle. I know a lot of people who struggled. I actually went through like different phases, downward phases, upward phases. And at the end of the day, so far it's been a year, and I'm still here doing this. I had a little bit of time. I had a little bit of time, so I told myself, you know what? Let me just make a quick video. You don't get time to talk to all your friends, family members, and all that stuff. So I'll just be like, upload this here. So if anyone wants to see how I'm doing, here we go. So far, I'm doing okay. But yeah, this pressure, this heaviness, back to that, it's eventually, I think you learn how to overcome it, how to deal with it, find ways to cope with it, and accept that, at the end of the day, this is what you're going to have to do, especially for the first 2 years that you're in this program, because the first preclinical years, the first 2 years are the most challenging years, as many individuals say. Of course, I think when you get to clinicals and residency, there's other hurdles that you have to go through. But when it comes to grasping information and knowledge, we do have clinical sites. We go and we do shadow doctors. But again, mainly the main concept that you're doing right now in the first 2 years is learning every single day, trying to be most effective. So for me, I found that, self-teaching myself, recording myself, talking to myself. If I teach a topic to myself or write on my whiteboard, I actually made another short video. I'll attach it here, just writing on my whiteboard. I think for me, writing stuff out on the whiteboard and then looking back, overcoming, like looking at what I actually wrote, I'm like, wow, all right. And then it starts to like get scripted in my head. That was one of the strategies that I started developing. I actually have two whiteboards here right now because one's not enough. Honestly, I think two is not enough either. There's just so much information you can write on these whiteboards. Another thing I would say that I went through and I realized was that starting beginning. So if you're starting medical school, you have to take every single day seriously, because all this information that you're learning, let's say the first few months is like MCAT, basic foundational medicine. That stuff will come back when you want to talk about drugs, like G proteins and all that stuff. If you talk about it in the beginning of your foundational medicine modules or lectures you're going through, it's going to come back in pharm. It's going to come back. And if you don't pay attention to it initially, you're going to have to spend more time relearning that topic. And I have came to realize that every single topic that I am learning, I have to try to really grasp it the first time that I learn it, or the first week that I'm going through that topic, because you don't have much time to go back. Essentially, you have to like be as efficient as you can when it comes to studying. Do have time slots during the day that you are very focused, very not distracted. And for me, what I did was basically ironically, I'm taking a video, I'm posting it on YouTube, but I found ways to deal with social media, because the first few months I deactivated my Instagram. I did not go on Instagram. And I think it actually shifted my cognitive functioning or the way I was operating. And I've seen a lot of videos out there on people who stop using social media and how it rewires your brain. And I think that actually happened because I was not using my Instagram or any form of social media for like 6 months. And I actually think that that helped with my focus. And even to this day, once I re-downloaded it, I do post once in a while, but I am not constantly going on the app to see what's going on or like scrolling through my feed. That is not there anymore because I think due to the detox that I had, it allowed me to rewire myself in a way that was never like that before. So I totally recommend that to anyone who's starting this journey in medical school or anything, no matter what you do, I think it's definitely something that you should do, social media detox. And I think that really positively impacted the way I approach school too. On top of that, I think social support is very, very essential throughout medical school. Finding your group, your community, some people that you can trust, whether if it's a partner you can run with or go to the gym or someone you can study with. We do need that as human beings because the hardest part, especially if you're an extrovert like me, it's so hard for me to just like sit my butt down on the chair for like 8 to 10 hours and just not do anything. And I think actually was one of the reasons that I went through a phase of depression. It's like a military. It's like a military school, but no one's there to wake you up. You're on your own. You have to wake yourself up. So having that person or a social support or a group that is there to not only like not hold you accountable, but check in on you. That's, I think, something that is really essential and you need to have. Find a few guys you can trust and be okay to talk about your problems with your friends. There's nothing wrong about that. So yeah, support is really key, really essential. For example, I went through a phase and I had friends here and I'm really grateful for them, which is another thing. You will meet people here that will be your best friends for the rest of your life once you're starting this journey. And that's another beauty about it. People that have a lot of similarities with you and also a lot of not so similar things, which is totally fine. I can say that the things that I've experienced, I can also say that the things that I've seen is like interesting too, because in an environment where it's like a pressure cooker, everyone is under so much stress, so much stress. And when people are under a lot of stress, I think they act weird too sometimes. So you see crazy things happening around your school too, around your peers, and you're like, okay, I was not expecting that. But I guess that individual was stressed. And if you see someone that is having a mental breakdown or something, I think there's nothing wrong about going and talking to them, hugging them, and just showing emotional support. Because at the end of the day, that's what you have to do with your patients. So I can go and ramble on all day if I want to keep talking. There's just so much that I can talk about. Maybe I can make another video if I have time for that. But aside from social support, I think another thing is paying attention to your health and well-being while you're going through this program. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have a healthy, the saying that they say, healthy body equals healthy mind, it really stuck with me because I went through a phase that I just stopped exercising. And it's because I went through a phase of depression, sig ECAPS. I made another video about that too. But I lost interest in the things that I actually had interest in. But it was a downward spiral because I stopped working out, I stopped exercising, taking care of my health. And that timeline that I went through, it was just crazy because the hardest part about that stage, going through that depressive stage or whatever you want to call it, it's because it's that you don't know how low you are once you get out of it. Once you're out of that phase, you realize that, damn, that's how I felt. How did I feel like that? Why did I allow myself to feel like that? So I was lucky because I had the social support, I had the social group, people, friends that I know, and I was self-aware. I worked on myself and I was able to get myself out. You will grow every single day that I have been going forward. I realized that it's like I'm like a snake. I'm breaking different layers in my life, in my personality. I'm learning to be more resilient, be more productive. Look back at myself a year ago and be like, "Holy, would I ever believe that I would be able to do this?" And I guess I could. I'm not there yet. I have a long journey ahead. If you're doing this, take it from a step-by-step basis. Don't look at 5 years from now. All you need is an idea of where you want to be and where you want to go. Because along your pathway, there's going to be so much hurdles and obstacles. That's one of the key things that I guess you should take from this video. I can make separate videos about stress, other things. But yeah, this whole thing is psychological, mental. Huge part of it is. And I'm very, very grateful for the people around me that have supported me, and basically for myself too, because you have to be, at the end of the day, willing to put the work in, put the effort in to be able to succeed. So, anyways, let me know if you guys found this video helpful, and make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned in. I will create more videos moving on. And until the next video, see you guys.